You're now tuned into Radical Radio with Coach L.
Switch my attitude. I'm so radical. 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 I'm so radical.
You can't heal what's hidden, and you can't break chains you don't acknowledge. The word says the truth shall set you free. Be true to yourself and allow the plan that God has had for your life to live. That's radical, living unapologetically bold and purposely authentic. Stay tuned for the radical coaching moment of the day. What's good, everybody? This is your girl, Coach L. You are officially tuned into Radical Radio. I want to thank you guys for joining me tonight. Tonight is a very special night, as every Monday is a very special night. But I just want to introduce myself for those of you that are just coming on for the first time. I am Coach L, owner and founder of Radical Life Ministries. This is a brand that houses radical life coaching, radical eyewear and accessories, and this dope platform, Radical Radio. We do believe in making sure that people are unapologetically bold and purposely authentic. We love to hear stories of transformation, resilience, power, entrepreneurship, all those great things. So thank you for joining us. We have a very special guest that we will let come on in just a minute. But as you guys know, I have the radical coaching moment of the day, right? So I want to ask a question. Well, it's a question kind of comment, all right? So basically, like if somebody asks you to marry them, right, you either give them a yes or no, right? So you say yes to marriage. You say yes when you want to apply for a college and it's the college of your choice. You give them a yes. You give your intention that you want to attend this college, right? When you get a new opportunity to get a new job, right? They give you a offer letter and you give them a yes, right? When you want to go and you want to travel and your girlfriend's calling you and saying, hey, do you want to go to Miami for the weekend? You give them a what? You give them a yes. So a lot of things we have the choice to say yes to. But I'm going to ask everybody today, when are you going to give God your yes? When will you give God your rest? Because listen here, I've heard Beyonce say it, and I know y'all know I love Beyonce, and she said, she woke up like this. But I'm going to tell you something. God did not create us to be angry. He did not create us to be mad. He did not create us to be toxic. He created us in a totally different light. And I believe that life experiences are the things that cause us to be angry, to be toxic, to go through these different things. So I really want to share with you guys Jeremiah 1:5. It says, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Catch that. Before I formed you in the womb, before he even created you in the womb, he knew you. So he knew who you were. And it says, and before you were born, I consecrated you. I appoint you a prophet to the nations. So many of us, right, we have to go through all these life-changing ordeals. We make choices on our own, right? So when are you going to give God your yes and give your life to him? Instead of us trying to make life choices on our own, right, we would stop ourselves from making so many mistakes that we make if we only give God a yes. Right? If we only surrender to God at an earlier moment to understand that we are not on our own, we cannot do this on our own, we need him to do this, okay? Then life would be a lot easier much sooner. But let's keep it real. We are human, right? So God, he provides us grace when we do make these mistakes. He provides grace to us so that, in spite of us making the mistakes or making the bad choices that we've made, he still allows us grace. So at some point, when you get sick and tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired, running the same circles over and over and over again, you can still make the decision to say yes, right? You can still make the decision to say yes to him. And the word says, listen, I appoint you a prophet to the nations. So listen, for Jeremiah, it meant an appointment as a prophet to the nations. For all Christians, all believers, there is a call to witness to the resurrection of Jesus Christ. That's JC right there, okay? And the ways in which God has moved in your life and worked in your lives for our own salvation. So what's salvation? Salvation is deliverance from sin and its consequences, believed by Christians to be brought on by faith in Christ. So it's the faith. It's your faith. And the word says all you need is the faith the size of a mustard seed. So at the end of the day, y'all, it's like this. We have to get away from understanding or thinking, you know what I'm saying, that your story has to be like somebody else's, right? Once you give your yes is your yes. God has already anointed you and ordained you to become a prophet of the nations. So nobody can tell you anything about what God already said about you. He already gave you authority. He already told you that that's who you are. The word says, before I formed you in your mother's womb, this is who you were. So we have to get to that place where we stop letting people tell us who we're not. If you have given God your yes and God has told you and given you the authority to be who you are, be that and don't worry about what nobody else got to say. It says right here, we have to look at how God has moved in our own lives, right? We have to look at the things that God has done for us to make us believers, right? The faith that he has brought us through, the things that he has taken us through, the glory that he has given us, the elevation that we have had in spite of everything that we have endured. Stop letting people tell you who you are. Understand who you are in God and let that be it. Okay? So I encourage you guys, if you haven't already, give God your yes and watch your life change. If you have given God your yes, keep pressing, boo. Keep pressing, keep pushing. Don't worry about these naysayers. Don't worry about these haters because, see, listen, the time that you are doing what you're supposed to do according to God, understand you're going to have haters. They're going to come your way. They're going to try to knock you off your square. They're going to try to distract you. They're going to try to tell you who you ain't. They're going to try to tell you you think you better than and all that good stuff. But I'm here to let you know, don't let them block you. Keep tunnel vision, keep going, be consistent, do what God tells you to do, be obedient to his word, and I promise you, life will be great as he called it to be. Okay, so that is the radical culture moment of the day. I thank you guys for listening. I hope that you guys take heed, and I encourage you guys, give God your yes, because it will change your life, and I am a living witness. I promise. All right. So listen, first of all, I need to turn my phone off because it's just dinging. All right. I'm sorry, y'all. So let's get this thing started. We have Miss Naomi Cain in the building of SR Creations. I am so excited to have her here. I want to share her bio with you guys first, and then I'm gonna tell you how I got this queen to come on. Hey, Naomi, how are you, queen?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good to have you on. All right, so we have Naomi Cain. She was born and raised in Lake County, Illinois. She grew up in Zion. She has her parents, Miss Flory Cain and Aaron Cain Jr. She began the process of SR Creations in December of 2019. She was just planning, coming up with ideas, pretty much brainstorming. The plan was to build. She has children that she wants to leave something to when she's no longer there, when she's no longer here. So she had a conversation with her family, her man, and a few friends as far as her ideas and what she wanted to do. She had all the support she could possibly ask for. SR Creations by Naomi stands for Soraya. Rena Creations by Naomi. The motivation behind the business is her children. Every day, she just has to stop and thank God for what He is doing because He is really doing some amazing things. At the beginning of 2020, I was asked to do obituaries for someone out of town, and she did them. After doing those obituaries for the customer, she had contacted her cousin Sharice in Tennessee, who has a business in doing obituaries, and she asked for advice and what she needed to do. To make a long story short, she went with just doing obituaries to doing banners is her piece. She loves doing banners and creating those memories for her customers. When she is contacted to do a banner, she asks for pictures, any specific colors, what they would like the banner to say. For the most part, her customers allow her to just do her, and they want to be surprised. What she didn't know was when she began doing these banners that her business would just take off and expand the way that it has. Since she began doing banners, she has done over 300 banners. Since then, she has expanded into doing parties, posters, business cards, and much more. So I want you guys to clap it up, give a warm welcome, a radical welcome to Miss Naomi Cain. Thank you for joining. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you for
Um,
having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. I want to share with you guys. Listen, I reached out to young entrepreneurs. I reached out and I put a post up and I said, hey, there's a lot of young entrepreneurs in Lake County right now, and I want to hear from y'all. Knowing that so many young entrepreneurs are on the rise and they are really doing their thing, I see a lot. I see a lot of young people right now stepping out in business. So I reached out and I just put the post out, and Naomi was one of the first people that reached back out to me. So I want to say thank you so much for reaching back out to me, because the reason I asked for young entrepreneurs to come on here is because I just wanted to celebrate. I wanted to empower you guys and I wanted to pour into you guys because it is definitely something that is necessary. You said it in your bio that you want to leave a legacy for your children. And that's what we need to understand. We need to learn that that's what we do this for. We do this because the word says we are supposed to leave inheritance for our family. So when we leave, that it can continue on. So let's go ahead and get into it, Naomi. Let's talk, Queen. Let's talk. Um, I want you to start just sharing your story. You speak you speak highly of your family. In your bio, you talk about you have children, you have your man, you have your parents and your siblings. So let's start there. Let's talk about, you growing up and, what your experience was, and, share a little bit of your story.
Well, growing up, I'm a pastor's daughter. So it was a lot of travel, a lot of on the road. Our church was in Wisconsin, in
Hmm.
Milwaukee. So it was school, church, home, pretty much for the most part.
Uh-huh.
Um, we didn't do a lot because we were always on the road. Um, we were close knit family. You see one, you see all of us.
Okay.
Um, and then, as time got older, started doing stuff I shouldn't have been doing, and I started having kids.
Hmm.
Um, I kind of went into all these different business ventures. I didn't paid all this money to go to cosmetology school. I
Hmm.
worked in the shop for a couple years. Then I started Nay sweets and things, and I still do that. I make banana pudding and peach cobbler.
Hmm.
Um, it's a lot, but
Yeah.
I don't say that I make it all the time because when I make it, I have to make a lot because a lot of people be wanting it.
Right.
Um, and then in February of last year, I had Nay Sweets and Thing pop up shop,
Okay.
and it was like right around the time where COVID was just getting started.
Hmm.
Had a nice turnout. It was great. And then everything kind of died down because of COVID.
Right.
Um, And then in December, I'm just pondering, trying to think about, what can I do um, to leave, for my kids.
Hmm.
They know how to make the banana pudding and the peach cobbler, but what else can I do? So when they get older, as time goes, they'll have something left to them, something that they can call their own.
Right.
So I'm just, bouncing off ideas off of my parents, my brother, my sister, my man, the kids, just trying to figure out what I wanted to do. And I had a customer out of town. She reached out about doing some obituaries. And growing up, being in church, my dad being the pastor, I did a lot of stuff on the computer for him. So I knew how to do the obituary. And it was kind of hard because the customer is out of town and I'm
Right.
here. So there's a lot of communication, the phone, the email. I sent her my work. She was very pleased. And I had to go elsewhere for printing.
Mm-hmm.
And I went elsewhere for printing and I wasn't pleased. Let's say
Okay.
that.
Okay.
But because of the time crunch, I had to send these obituaries. I had to give them to the customer.
Mm-hmm.
Happy. I was literally in tears. That's how bad it was. But it's a funeral, and today is Friday. The funeral's tomorrow. I got to get these to this customer. So
Right.
after that, I sat down and I prayed about it before I brought it to anybody's attention. This is what I want to do. I prayed, talked to God about it, and He gave me the go ahead. So I came up with a name. I talked to my man Trent. I talked to my parents. So now everybody's on the same page. Everybody's giving me ideas. But my mom came up with the idea, why not name your business after your kids?
Mm-hmm.
So their middle names is Soraya and Renee. So that's the S and the R.
Okay.
Creation by Naomi.
Yes.
Um, so the whole thing behind starting my business, I want to give customers the memories that they need to help them go on, or even through life, not necessarily when they lose a loved one, graduation, birthday parties. Everybody needs those memories. So
Absolutely.
after I did those obituaries, people start contacting me, asking me, do I do all these other things?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Like, I didn't plan for all of this.
Mm-hmm.
And Trent was like, well, just because you did not plan for it, that really doesn't mean anything. You have to look at what God has in store for you. So
Mm-hmm.
I started off doing maybe one or two banners. Then graduation time came, people's birthdays, and it just took off. And I'm thanking God and I'm just overjoyed at the same time because I asked for this, but
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't prepared for it.
Right.
Well, here I am, working full time. I got my kids, I got my man, I got my family. I got a whole lot of things that got to be done, and I'm only one person.
Mm-hmm.
So, with graduation, it was COVID time, so the kids didn't have a graduation. People are looking or trying to find other ways, the things that they can do for their kids that are graduating. So
Mm-hmm.
all these people start calling me about banners. I mean, phone ringing off the hook, inbox ringing, inbox going off, text messages going off. I got people calling 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, texting, and I'm just like, oh my gosh.
Yes.
So up until the end of last year, I believe I did over 300 banners.
Wow.
Then that led into, people wanting business cards, posters, all of that. And I have a friend, Jaquan, who does parties. And I'm the type of person where I don't like to step on people's toes, because if somebody step on my toes, I'm gonna be upset.
Mm-hmm.
So I talked to my friend and she was like, it's money out here for everybody. You need to do this.
That's a
So
real friend. That's a
yeah,
real friend right there.
with her helping me and showing me different things, I'm not ashamed to say if it's something I can't do, I'll tell you. I can't do it. Let me try to figure it out, or let me find somebody that can do it
Right.
for you. But with her helping me, my family helping me, it kind of pushed me into doing parties. And now I was looking at my books today. I just got all this different stuff coming up, and I don't like to do balloons at all. I tried it. I can't do it. I called Jaquan, like, I need you to do these balloons for me. I need you to do this for me. And I kind of when things is going too good, you kind of think like, okay, everything is going good. What's going to go wrong? But, I had to talk myself out of that because this is what God wants for you.
Mhm.
And I mean, a
Absolutely.
lot of people were saying, I know with the pandemic, business has slowed down. I thank God my business has not slowed down. I be busy nonstop. Like I
Mhm.
literally just got home an hour ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, God is good. Everything is good. I'm excited to see what he has in store for me and my
Yes.
family. Yeah.
That's amazing because what one thing that stood out of you sharing your story was that you did consult God, and I know I talk a lot about that on the platform when I talk to guests. How important is that for you to consult God within your business?
Well, growing up, my parents, me being a preacher's daughter, always in church. I mean, going to Sunday school, choir
I,
rehearsal, usher board, uh, what you call it on Wednesday, Bible class.
mhm.
We literally stayed in church. And growing up, being with my grandma and, listening to them, the only way you're going to get through life, honestly, is if you trust God and if you put him first. You
Absolutely.
know, I was taught that you don't just go to God when you have a problem. You go to God all the time. You thank
Yes.
him for, you know, what you do have. You thank him for what you don't have. Um, you have to have faith.
Yes.
And even when I'm, discouraged or whatever, I always pray and ask God to show me the way. And he hasn't failed me yet.
That's
So,
right. That's good. Now, being a preacher's kid, like you said, we go wayward. I wasn't a preacher's kid, but I was a preacher's grandkid. So I definitely understand and can relate to everything you saying. Being in church, morning, sun up to sundown,
yeah.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, going to, Chicago, going to different churches, middle of the day on Sunday. You know, I believe at some point, like you get churched out at some point where you want to go out and you want to see, well, why I can't do what they do.
Yeah.
I want to go over there and I want to see what they doing over there. Can you tell us a little bit about, you going through that type of, if you went through that type of situation where you were just like, I just want to be regular, you know?
I mean, I tried it a couple times, and the response was always no, or why we couldn't do
Mm-hmm.
certain things. We couldn't stay out at so and so's house.
Mm-hmm.
I was at my grandma's house a lot. Um, so I was grandma's house, home, or maybe somebody else's house. And I mean, at one point, once I got a little older and started smelling myself, I'm
Mm-hmm.
sneaking around doing stuff. So that's how I did stuff, because I was sneaking around
Mm-hmm.
doing stuff that I shouldn't have been doing, because if I'd have asked, they was gonna tell me no.
Right, right.
So in order to do what I wanted to do until I got older, I had to sneak around.
Mm-hmm. But how and that, let me tell you, this is how I feel too. It's so funny because I believe, for me, I know, and you could tell me if this is true for me. I wanted to do that so bad, but then when it got to the point where I could do it and I understood, like I started learning like who I really was, I was like, you just a Jesus girl. Like that's just who you are. You over here trying to do X, Y, and Z, and
Yeah,
that ain't even who you is, you know?
yeah,
And
absolutely.
I want to encourage people because a lot of times we do. Life will have you thinking like you want to go left, but really deep down in your heart, God created you to go right. Like He
Yeah,
created you to be this person. And a lot of times we're young, we're impressionable. We see people doing things and we automatically think, well, we want to try that, but it's amazing to grow up, even when you grew up in church, to finally
mhm,
grow up, and then it just kind of, the light bulb just kind of comes on and you like, well, this is who I always was.
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So tell us about your kids. I know, like you said, you want to leave a legacy for your children. When did you, really understand that, I got to do something because you work full time, and you're also a business owner. So when did, the notion in your mind, when did that mindset start to really get strong where you like, yo, I want to do something to leave this legacy for my children?
Um, I'm gonna say it was always a thought in my head. But I had my first daughter at 19, month
Okay.
out of high school. So I was still young myself, and I still had the young mind. Um, Not necessarily, okay, you have a child. It's no longer just you.
Right.
What are you going to do to take care of this child?
Hmm.
And my parents, they helped me, but they made it clear like this is your child. So, as I got older and I wanted to do stuff, it's no longer me. So now I gotta, mama and papa, can you watch my baby for me while I go do this? And if they said no, what you mean no? I want to go do this.
Hmm.
But I had to grow up. And then I had my second child at 24. Okay, now I'm 24 with two kids. What are you going to do? Um, and they're girls, so they're watching pretty much everything that I do. What are you going to do? And it took me a while, to get it together. Um, but a couple of years ago, I was working in the shop, and then I did the dessert business. And I'm like, you know what? I need to do something that I know for sure that I can leave to my kids.
Hmm.
I love to work on the computer. I love putting stuff together. And when I was sitting down last year, I'm racking my brain trying to figure out what I was going to do. And everybody helping me come up with the names, doing this, doing that. And it's like a light bulb went off.
Mm.
We talking about it. Let me put this plan to work, you
Right.
know, not thinking that the business was going to take off like it did.
Hmm.
And now I'm just looking like, okay, I went from having one or two customers. Now I got all these customers. I got people coming at me, left and right. And now I'm just like, this is crazy. Even with my kids, they can't really help me do like the banners and stuff like that. But when
Hmm.
we get parties, they're at the age where they want money. So if you want money, you got to work.
There you go. There you go.
So they help me set up, they help me break down whatever I need them to do, and they get paid. At the end of the day, when it's all said and done, then I pay them for their services. Because
Okay.
yes, this is your business, but mom is basically doing everything, but this is your business.
Hmm. Hmm.
You got to work. In order to get anywhere in life, I tell them all the time, you got to work and you got to go after what you want. Nothing
Absolutely.
is given to you for free. So you got to work. So I make sure that I show them. I go to work every day. I do what I have to do because at the end of the day, food got to be put on the table. We need a roof over our head. Bills got to be paid. So we
Yes.
got to work for what we want.
I love that. I love that because that's true, and I think that's why some of our young people, like, they don't know the value. I know when I was raising my kids, I didn't really instill in them that you got to work for it. I would
Mhm.
just, because I wanted to give,
Yeah.
didn't really instill that. But and it's necessary. We have to instill that in our children. Let's talk about, you said you started out with obituaries. And when I hear you say that, like, even when I was reading your bio, I'm like, this is ministry. Like, this is ministry. She's doing things for people. She's able to, you know, bring closure, whether it be obituary. She's able to bring, joy, whether it be a birthday party. So do you feel like you've identified like what your purpose is?
I question it sometimes.
Okay.
Um, because I sometimes I'd be stressed out. I'd be just overwhelmed with so much and everything that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with me not, you know, um, seeing how fast and quickly the business was going to take off.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I honestly think that um, I'm really doing what God wanted me to do.
Yeah.
Um, because if I wasn't, he he wouldn't have blessed me the way that he has. Because I've had other businesses before and
Mhm.
they did good, but they didn't take off immediately. Let's say
Right.
a month or two after I started the business, and it's still going strong.
Yes.
And I thank God and I pray all the time. And I ask God, what is it that, I'm supposed to be doing? Because sometimes we're unsure.
Right.
And we have
Absolutely.
to ask so we can get clarification and allow God to remind us. But He keeps showing me the same thing, and He keeps
Absolutely.
sending me more and more and more people. Um, I mean, like I was saying, text messages, inbox, people calling, and I'll be like, "Oh my God, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. Who could this be?" Somebody calling me or texting me about a banner. But it's 1 o'clock in the morning. Like, this couldn't wait. But then I be thinking about it, because I do it too. When it come to your mind, whether it's 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, okay, let me send this to her, and then I apologize afterward. I send a lot of messages late, and I'll be like, I'm sorry it's late. I'm sorry it's early. But when I'm thinking about it, I gotta,
Yes.
and
Ab-
I be talking to Trent sometimes, and I be complaining because, it's different times in the morning, different times of the night when people calling me and texting me. But I asked for it, so why am I complaining?
yes. That's right. That's right. Now let's just talk about being in business. Like you started. So sometimes it gets me. I say to a lot of entrepreneurs, like, we make this thing look real easy. We make this thing look real easy. People would love to hear your story where you say, I did 300 banners and my business was thriving through the pandemic. I didn't miss a beat. What
Hmm.
would you say to young entrepreneurs like yourself to, what are the keys that they must have to thrive as an entrepreneur, because you still work full time. Let's
Hmm.
not forget, a lot of us entrepreneurs, we fund our own businesses. So
Yeah.
we don't have investors coming knocking down our doors to say, hey, let me give you this money so you can
Hmm.
do this. We rely solely on God and God alone,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
the funding that we put into this. We invest in ourselves. So can you share about what are some of the keys that you made sure that you have as a young entrepreneur?
Um, the first thing, you have to have patience. And I mean, it takes a lot of patience. Um, and it's like with any job, because you don't know who you're going to come in contact with. You don't know who's going to reach out to you. And they might be having a good day, they might be having a bad day. And what the energy they're bringing can sometimes trickle off on you. And I had to
That part.
remind myself, okay, you're a business owner, so you have to be professional at all times,
Yes.
because you don't know who's watching, you don't know who's listening, and all it takes is one time
Yeah.
and everything can be gone. So
That's
I think you have to have patience, and you have to be passionate about what you're doing.
mhm.
Um, and I was talking to someone on Facebook. I'm in all these different party groups and stuff. And this lady reached out and she said, what could I do to better what I'm doing, or something she asked me. And I just told her, this has to be something that you really want to do, because you don't, everybody can't do it basically.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I never thought that I could go into doing parties until people start asking me, and Jaquai helping me on this side, Trent helping me on this side, my mama helping me on this side. Um, so you got to be able to ask for help, be passionate about what you are doing. You have to have patience, and you have to make sure it's something that you want to do, because you don't want to put all your time and invest into something. First of all, if you're going to do it.
That's right. I love that.
And I tell my kids all the time, my name is on this business and your name is on this business. So anything that we do, we're going to put our best foot forward and
Hmm.
get the job done. If you got to cry, complain, all of that, that can wait till we get home. But while we're here, being doing a service for someone else, you're going to have a smile on your face.
That's good. Good. Yes. That's real good. And I love that because that's just like, I used to in working in corporate America, a lot of times managers will say, whatever you got going on, leave it at the door.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to get so irritated because I used to be like, you can't tell me, like I go through things, like I can't leave it at the door. But when you have your own business, you adapt to exactly that.
Yeah.
Like you have to continue to press forward when things are going on outside of your business. You still have to put that best foot forward. You still have to be professional, and you still have to carry yourself as a business. A lot of times, entrepreneurs, um, it's easy for people to say, I have my own business, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I often challenge people and I ask people a lot of times, like, are you treating your business as a business? Like, are
Right.
you really moving as a business? So, when it comes to like people call and they want a discount or not being able to give a discount because at some point you have to treat your business as a business. You can have sales, you can do different things, but you can't always just shortchange yourself. Have you had those experiences where you like, well, I don't know what to charge, or man, I don't know if this is right. Have you had those types of experiences?
A couple of times. I Jaqua's on speed dial. If I don't know how much I should charge for something, I call her, I ask Trent, and they both say the same thing. First of all, you got to look at what you're going to have to spend, how long it's going to take you to do it, the time you put into it. You have to figure out all the outside stuff before I can even tell you or help you
Yes.
as far as how much you should charge for something. But like with discounts and stuff like that, I had to tell this one lady, if I choose to give you a discount or if I choose to have a special, that's up to me.
Mm-hmm.
But if I feel like people shouldn't ask or assume that I'm going to give them a discount. If I choose to do that, I'll say it. I'm
Yeah.
not trying to be mean, but I'll specify or I'll say that. For customers that I have that have been with me from the beginning, every now and then I'll do something for them for free. This is from me to you with no problem.
Mm-hmm.
I have a customer who does every party that she has with me. We did an invoice for another party. Okay, so this is how much it is, but your banner is free.
Mm-hmm.
She's
Absolutely.
been with me since the beginning. So if I choose to, then yeah, but I feel like it's kind of, I don't want to say rude but in a way it's rude to assume or ask, well, can I get a discount?
It is. And I want to put the reason I ask this is because I think it's important. Even I have that, I have that trouble sometimes, but it's like when you sit down and you handcraft and you take the time and you got ideas running through your mind all day long, you at work and you
Mm-hmm.
got things going through your mind and you're thinking and you're putting things together, like people don't understand how much that takes.
Yeah.
And it comes to a point when you're an entrepreneur, and you believe in what it is that you're bringing to people.
Mm-hmm.
You have to know your worth, right? You have to know that my service and my products that I bring you, they're going to be top notch. Because you said it before, when you did the obituaries, you weren't happy.
Mm-hmm.
So you take pride in what you're going to give your customers. So I would think that, as customers that want to book the services, you guys will trust us enough to know that we're going to put our whole heart, mind, body, and soul in it, to give you the
Absolutely.
best product. So that's just, I wanted to talk about that because a lot of entrepreneurs go through that. And I just, I want to say we gotta stick with what we know, and we gotta understand that it takes time and it takes a lot of us to put these things out. So when it comes to, those things, we gotta just know our worth. Um, and I love that. So let's talk about some of the things that you have done. So you've done what are some of the things that you do? I know you do banners. I know you do the obituaries. Do you also incorporate the sweets in there sometimes, or?
Banana pudding and peach cobbler? No,
Okay.
not at all.
You like it.
It's I hate to say I don't do it. Not a lot of people know that if you place an order, I definitely will do it.
Okay.
No questions asked. But it's not something that I broadcast to say that I do because when I make it, I have to make a lot. That's how many orders I get.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a lot of time and a lot put into it. So I try to stay away from it. But when I have parties, I outsource for my treats. Some of my
Okay.
treats, my
Okay.
Strawberries, pretzels, Rice Krispie treats,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. For the most part,
Okay.
I don't want to bake none of
Yeah.
that.
Gotcha. So let me ask you this, like, what is the one thing that brings you joy when you're done with your parties and you breaking down things and you're finished? Like, what is that one thing where you just like, thank you, Lord, or this is amazing. What is that one thing?
I would say, the smile on my customer's face. Um, at the end of the day, the only thing that matters to me is that they were happy. They were pleased with my service and what me and my children did for them. That smile just it makes my day.
Oh,
Um, I've never had an experience where a customer was unpleased or had an issue with the party or anything that we did, and I want to keep it that way.
absolutely. Absolutely. I love it. It's amazing to see young entrepreneurs, that have number one, the foundation of knowing that God has blessed them with this vision. It's just another good thing to see that you have a foundation, a solid foundation for your business, where you've set the standard and you've set the tone for your business,
Mhm.
and just to see the fact that the elevation was there, starting
Yes,
from one customer to, doing 300 banners, and you just started in 2019. So
yes,
this right here is a testimony to people to understand that consistency and understanding to trust God and seek God in anything that you do. Miss Naomi just said she didn't dibbled and dabbed in a lot of stuff. Now she
yes,
didn't hit it. She didn't hit it now, and she got it. So I just want to encourage you guys. If you're young, old, whatever the case may be, it is never, ever, 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 ever too late.
it's not.
Um, I believe that we do have to go through many different things to see what we like and what we love, but it's just a joy to do something that you absolutely love to do and that you get fulfilled from it. So I want to encourage you, if you don't know, go figure it out, take the time to seek God and ask God to help you and show you the way, order your steps, and he will, I promise you he will.
Yes, it
Um,
will.
but yeah, just keep at it and be consistent. Be consistent with it. Never stop. I don't listen. I tell people it ain't about the number for me. It's about being consistent, continuing to do, what God has blessed me to do, and having a vision for it. And I know that if I continue to do that, then He's gonna bless it. It's gonna be blessed. So I know that you have a special that you want to promote. What's the special?
So it's for banners. I was gonna do 24 hours, but 48-hour special.
Okay.
If they text banner to me, they can get a banner for $45 for the next
Okay.
48 hours.
Okay, so what's the timeline on the banners? Like,
Uh, what time is it? What
so if
time is
they
it?
or if they order them, like, when can they get it by?
My turnaround time is 24 to 48 hours.
Shut your mouth.
Yes,
Let me
ma'am.
write the code down. Hold on, banner. So y'all heard it. Listen, y'all got 48 hours. It is 8:45. Okay, Miss Naomi ain't playing with y'all. Y'all got 48 hours, huh? Her number. She said text. Okay, so Give them your number so that they can
It's
text
224
you.
717 6109.
Okay.
Text banner. They gotta let me know who they are too. Let them their name.
Please.
For the next 48 hours.
Next 48 hours, banners for $45, you said?
Yes, ma'am.
Listen, y'all, she be working. I watch. I be looking. I be lurking. I didn't look at her page all day. I've been doing my research. She be working.
I have the type of job. I work for the Lake County Health Department.
Uh-huh.
And I just sit at the door all day, ask people COVID questions, take their temperatures. So I'm literally on my computer from 7:30 every morning till 4:30 in the afternoon working.
Yes.
So place y'all orders for y'all banners, and I'll be working on them while I'm at work.
Absolutely. I'm going to go ahead and post this on all the Radical Radio pages as well, just to let people know that you are doing this special. Please tell everybody where they can find you, like social media.
They can find me on Facebook. They can find me on Facebook. Styles and Sweets Nay. I have a business page. It's SR Creations by Naomi. And they can find me on Instagram. It's SR_Creations by Naomi.
Okay.
Or they can text or call.
All right, y'all. Okay, now. I thank you for coming on, Naomi. This was amazing. I really pray that God blesses you and continues to pour favor and abundant blessings all over you, your family, your business. I ask for young entrepreneurs, if you have any friends that, want to come on and promote their business, please let them know, because I love to see young people thriving and continuing to leave these legacies for your babies and for your families, because that's exactly what this is all about. Doesn't matter if you're working full time. Listen, if it's something that you love to do, you won't miss a beat. You will not miss a beat. So I want to thank you for coming on to Radical Radio, Queen. I appreciate you so much. Absolutely, absolutely. I have a few words that I have to give, a few shout outs that I have to give. I wrote it down. Where they at? Oh, I want to give a shout out to Educated. Educated is having a Squad Goals pop-up shop on April 3rd between 2 p.m. and 5 at 19 North Genesee. That's going to be April 3rd again, between 2 and 5. Come out. Radical Life merchandise will be there. Radical eyewear, all of the Radical merchandise that I have, I will be there. I will also be giving away or doing 50% off coaching services as well. So please come out and rock with us. Come check out the local businesses. And I want to thank Made to Stand Out. I am the proud ambassador of Made to Stand Out. It is a kingdom clothing line, and I am always looking to promote and support kingdom wear. So I want to thank Made to Stand Out for accepting me as an ambassador. If you guys are interested in the hoodies, they have some fly gear, y'all. If y'all interested, you guys can go to www.madetostandout.com and you can use the code RADICAL for 10% off. And get your Made to Stand Out, because we are all made to stand out. So get your gear. And yeah, I want to go ahead and thank you guys again for coming on to the show. We have a very special commercial we're going to do. This is a promotion for a very, very special book. If y'all don't know, All My Broken Crayons, Steel Color. It is by author Maxie Norman. When I tell y'all, I read the book and I was like, oh my God. The affirmations are amazing, y'all. So I need you guys to go to Amazon and pick up your copy. You will not be disappointed. There is space in there for you to write down and journal and do all that fancy stuff that you need to do for yourself and affirm yourself. So I want to go ahead and share this with you guys.
Hey dreamers, in this life, nothing is promised to be perfect, but with a little hard work and support, we can make it all worth it. Hi, I'm Maxie, owner of Eleanor Maxwell. We're a business support company specializing in admin support for businesses, show production, events, and more. And guess what? I just self-published my first book, All My Broken Crayons Still Color, available now on Amazon. So, Eleanor Maxwell, follow, like, subscribe, all social media platforms. Let us help you glow through whatever it is you're going through.
Yeah. Listen, y'all heard her. Y'all heard her right there. Let her help you glow through what you're going through. It's real. It's real. Radical Radio is designed to get to the heart of our guest stories. Oftentimes, you see people moving and they make it look so easy. Many don't know the story behind the journey, the heartache, the disappointment, the wins, or even the loss. What has it cost you? We are removing the stigma of judging a book by its cover and gaining perspective from our guests in the most radical way, in their own words. Testimonies are meant to be shared to help others move forward. That's the radical way, y'all. Let's go. www.radicallife.com. Again, I want to thank you guys for joining Radical Radio tonight. It was a blast. I want to thank Miss Naomi Cain of SR Creations for coming on. A fabulous, most amazing young entrepreneur. She's out here getting it. So I want you guys, don't forget, you got 48 hours to text banner for the $45 banner. She's only doing this on Radical Radio. So this is a special deal. So please go ahead and shop and get your banners that you need right away. As you heard her, she says she's working all the time. So go ahead and text that number with the word banner for the $45 banner. Once again, I want to thank you guys for joining us. Do not forget to come shop at the pop-up shop on April 3rd. I love you guys. I hope you have a blessed night.